Hey there, Start here. This is kind of an exciting video. I honestly was just doing some test runs. I was playing around with a team that I thought could get this one done in 15 turns. So the new series boss battles are super thick. Some of them are quite challenging. Chaotic Darkness is probably the easiest as far as like the AI is concerned. It's very straightforward, very easy to get around a lot of the incoming damage. As you can see, we don't even have a tank on this team, so we're just like resisting everything. Ibarra is my evade provoke unit. So like literally this team takes 0 damage throughout the entire fight. It's more just about being able to deal enough damage to get it done in 15 turns. Now, this is me just flexing. I honestly didn't think it was going to work, but I think this is going to get the job done. We're all set up. We're going to do a limit burst here on this turn. We all have Yuna's 120 amp for the next couple turns, so we're good to go. So I'm hoping we're going to do a big burst on this turn, and then we're going to drop the SLB nuke next turn to finish off the fight. I will post the turn chart in this, and I'll probably go back and do like the full video. I wanted to record this just in case, you know, I figured just in case I don't get lucky enough to do it again, because these battles are quite long and extensive. They do take, like, I actually mapped out a turn chart for this one because I had to make sure the damage was just right. And so I wanted to go ahead and show you, because I was like, it's probably not going to work. But now that I'm pretty confident we're going to get this one done, I wanted to just go ahead and record it. Shout out to Sinzar for his awesome fundamental force, who I'm bringing along for this fight. All right, so let's go ahead and let's just finish out this fight. Like I said, Ibarra has been our evade provoke unit. She's also our dark resist unit, using Bardarkja. I'm going to go ahead and use her to fill up everyone's LBs while I'm at it. Okay. And by everyone, I mean the fundamental forces who need their LBs filled. They'll get their SLB next turn, so it'll automatically fill up. I will say this takes a lot. You know, I've got my devoted summoner Yuna with a 1200% leader skill. That is like required to get the level of damage needed out of here. Penelo, she's bringing the big 200% light imperil to get this one done. She's also supplying some evocation damage boost to Yuna. Like I'm using Yuna and Penelo. They are all built balls to the wall, because every little bit of damage counts in this fight. So for this one, so on this turn, we're basically using Penelo's SLB for the 89% breaks, the 160% light imperil. You can see we've got the light imperil field in place. Yuna can also do a light imperil field by summoning Bahamut, which I did earlier in the fight. And like I said, I'll post the turn chart in the comments below if you guys want to follow it. It's a really long fight, and originally this was just a test run. I was just testing some things out, testing out my rotation, and so I didn't intend to record the entire fight. But now that we're here, and I think we're going to get this done, I wanted to record it for posterity, and I'll show you the gear and everything after we get done with the fight. All right. So what I'm going to do here is I need to send Penelo first, obviously for the breaks and imperils. Then I'll send Yuna, because Yuna is like a 3-hit finisher. And then I'll send my fundamental forces and Celeste. Okay? I'm hoping, all right, we need to do at least like, I'd say, we need to do at least like, 10, 11, 12% off here, all right, in order to make sure that we're definitely going to kill the boss on turn 15. If we don't kill the boss on turn 15, he is going to do a 10% heal. And that's basically going to mean we need another, 2 turns to kill it. He's also going to do a whole bunch of nasty stuff to Ibarra, which can potentially lead to a team wipe. So we really need to kill this guy in 2 turns, and I think we're going to get it done. So let's see how we get this guy done. Okay? Oh, nice. Almost killed him right there. That was pretty sweet. 5.4 All right, so we're definitely killing this guy on this turn. There's like no question about it. And we're gonna get our 15 turn mission. Yeah, I honestly can't believe I got it done. Like the first test run, it was a complete mess. Like there was no way I was getting it done in 15 turns. And I made a few corrections and I was like, all right, maybe this will help out. Turns out that did the trick. So I'm just gonna load up the fundamental forces. Ibarra can also do a triple bar Darkja to fill up Celeste. We'll go ahead and send her. 2, 3. All right, you can see Celeste still needs a little bit more. We still have our 120 amp from Yuna. So what we can do here to finish filling up Celeste is we can just do quad quickening on Celeste. We don't even need quad quickening. Really, she only needs like 2 of them. So we'll just do, I will do 3 just to make sure. 3 quickenings. And yeah, her last action can really be whatever. This battle is done. Okay, so I'll just do a Remedy Lore. All right, Yuna. Yuna doesn't really need to do anything here. We can just, yeah, we can just do Enlightka just to, just to double check, make sure everyone's imbued, because, you know, Yuna's amp is just an amp. It's not an imbue, so you always got to make sure that everybody's imbued. I don't want to screw this up here at the last minute. But yeah, this is definitely going to kill the boss from here, and we're going to get our 15 turn mission. Sweet. All right, let's do it. Boom. 15 turns. All right. I mean, everything leading up to this point in the fight was very, very boring, very repetitive. Like, this fight is not very interesting, which I'm a little disappointed in. It's really just an HP sponge. It's got 30 billion HP. It does a 10% heal after you pass the 50% threshold. So really, it's 33 billion HP. So it's really just, I mean, it's a matter of just hitting this thing as hard as you can, as often as you can, like just doing LBs, making sure you're doing that. The real trick is just timing when you do your amps, your big amps, like your, you know, your 150s with your 500 LB boost, you know, those types of things. That's the real trick, is figuring out how you time those things. All right, so here's the spread. Our fundamental forces are basically identical. Mine and Sinzar's are practically identical. So as you can see, doing basically identical damage. They are largely carrying this fight. Celeste just chipping in that little extra that's needed. You know, Yuna's not slacking. Like, you know, she did a billion, and that, honestly, that billion made the difference between us probably finishing on turn 15 or not, right? That and her leader skill. Penelo, her damage is meh. I think Penelo could honestly be swapped out for Zahn, and you could potentially do this fight even faster. Like, we potentially could have ended it on turn 14 if we had Zahn in place of Penelo. But I don't, my Zahn is EX1, and that's just not good enough. That just doesn't cut it. But yeah, this is pretty exciting. I am pumped. I was not expecting to actually do an all missions clear on this boss. Yeah, super psyched. Let's see that. Oh yeah, look at those stars light up. Beautiful, beautiful. I love it. Love it. All right. I'll even do those. I'll even do the guaranteed summons for you guys to see what we get from those. So you can see I had already done the 30 turn mission before. When I did my 30 turn mission, that was I had a tank in place of Yuna. I think I had Abigail maybe. You could honestly do it with what's her name, Elena, as well, as a magic tank to cover the magic damage if you want. But that obviously takes a lot longer. And so my first clear of this, where I had a magic tank in place of Yuna, took 26 turns, just to give you some idea. So putting Yuna in there and playing around with the rotations and everything made this one possible. All right, let's just take a look at the gear on the units real quick. I'm just going to exit out. I'm not going to bother showing you Sinzar's gear because his is basically identical to mine. So when I show you my fundamental force, it's basically the same thing. All right. So my Penelo, she has the Dark Vision's Rod because she does do a 40% Rod Imperil for herself, which is really nice. She's got her STMR, of course. Summer Trunks is for the water resist. So that's the big thing. This boss does dark, magic damage and water magic damage. All right, and so if you can resist, water and dark for the entire team, then you're good. The boss does, I think, an 80% imperil to water and dark, I think. So all my units are at a minimum 100% water resist. The dark resist, Ibarra takes care of that. A 200% dark resist buff, and you don't have to worry about dark at all. You don't have to build anybody for dark resist, but everyone is built for at least 100% water resist, so that when Yuna uses her bar water gun, that does an 80% buff, we don't have to worry about taking any water damage. And so Summer Trunks are there for water resist and you know, a decent mag stat. Yuna's necklace is there for Hymn of the Faith. So she uses this on Yuna for the 80 times mod boost to Yuna's LB, because even the NV, you know, the latest Yuna is still stuck with a god-awful 90 times evocation mod. So having that, you know, having that Hymn of the Faith plus is very, very helpful in actually giving her a decent damage. Lulu's necklace is for the mag TDH. And then finishing off for TDH, some LB damage there. Cool Beauty is again for water, 60% water resist. And then Force Mysterion for some demon killers. I gave her Ibarra's card so that she has chain cap boost. But her killers are still a bit lacking. So she's got 300 human, which is easy enough for her, but only 175 demon. But, you know, that's fine. She did 400 million, which isn't that much. But maybe made the difference, you know, a little bit of difference there. All right, so that's Penelo. Devoted Summoner Yuna. She does need to be EX2, because at EX2 she gets her I've Always Known Where to Go, which is the 120 amp for the party for 2 turns. That is crucial. That's what I used on those last 2 turns to make sure we got the job done. She's got her STMR. Silver Pendant for evocation damage, and then just high mag gear. Selfie's dress is for water resist. Hateful Agent doesn't have water resist on it, but gives her Esper stats. And then Gleaming Rain for the 80%. That's from Clash of Wills gear. Corrupted Mage, Wings of the Warrior for chain cap boost. And then she has Roka's Vision card. So she doesn't need any killers, she just needs evocation damage, so she is maxed out on all that jazz. All right. Oh, and her resist, sorry, she's 100% water resist. We don't care about dark, just water. Fundamental Force, it's got everything. I mean, look at that, 31,000 attack, love it. Beautiful. That is just monstrous. Fundamental Force is absolutely necessary to get this job done. You're not doing it with anyone else. It's Fundamental Force or no one. I mean, maybe 2 Ithnes could do it, but I doubt it. I think Fundamental Force is really the only unit that can do it, and has to be EX3, because you have to get that many SLBs in, right? If yours is EX2, there's no way you're hitting the 15 turn limit. I'm just saying, I mean, just being honest, there's no way you're hitting that 15 turn limit, because you cannot fit enough SLBs in. All right, so when you're EX3, you can get 5 SLBs off, right? 1 for every 3 turns. If you're EX2, you can only get 3 off, right? That is a massive drop in damage, just based on the number of SLBs you can drop on this boss. So EX2, not going to cut it. All right, but EX2 will easily get you, you know, your 30 turns mission, no problem. Priestess's Vengeance is there for water resist, and then everything just to max her stats and get her killers up. She's got Hio's card. It's the best one I have for her, and yeah, she's overkillered on human. So I gave her Lakshmi Esper, which has overkillers on human. You can also do overkillers on demon with Rama, but then you have to build a little extra water resist in, because Rama has 50% innate weakness to water. So I prefer Lakshmi, so that you don't have to worry about building in extra water resists. All right, now Ibarra. I mean, she used to be the top damage dealer when she first came out, and she is still incredibly useful as a support unit. As you could see, she is awesome. She's got the 200% killers, right? She's got the human killer 200%, demon killer 200% with full uptime. She's got two stacks of Mirage for any AoE physicals. She is passive provoking with 100% resist, 100% physical evasion. So all the single target physicals, she evades. She does need stop immunity. Okay, so you got to have stop immunity. So that's what this is for. There you go. There's your stop immunity. Blizzard Orb is for death immunity. Also, it helps to have her so that she counters, because her counter attack, or her normal attack, I should say, does a lot of nice things like LB fill, MP restoration, and a 150 dark resist buff. Not that we really need to worry about that because she's got Bar Darkja for the 200% buff. But yeah. So she's basically here to fill up LBs, provide the dark buff, provide the killer buff, provide the mirage for the party, and that's it. So really, as long as she is, she's got perfect provocation for the provoke, and then, just a bunch of evasion gear. And then I gave her Dazzling Demoness, so she has plenty of MP. Plus, it also comes with the 50% MP reduction, so that it doesn't cost quite so much. And then the Prophet's Diadem takes care of the rest with another 30%, another 40% reduction. So, she's got full reduction, so that way her Bar Darkja only costs 100 MP, so that way she never runs out of MP. I didn't even bother building her Brave Shift because she never needs it. She just stays in normal form the whole time. So you could theoretically use an EX0 Ibarra and do just fine. We don't need her to be, any more than an EX0 Ibarra here, so she's just here for the support. And lastly, we have Celeste. Also has some MP reduction because there are times throughout the fight where we use her Bar Lightja to help fill up LBs. And so in her normal form, lots of MP reduction, ailment resists. You'll notice no one else has death resistance except for Ibarra. That's because the death is a single target death, and it is provocable, so Ibarra provokes the death on this boss, so no one needs to be built for death resistance, but people do need to have ailment resistance. That is important because the boss will reduce your ailment resistance and then hit you with ailments, so you have to have ailment resistance, and then you have to have an ailment resistance buff on your party to make sure no one gets hit by the ailments. She's got some killers in this form, but she's not really dealing damage in this form. So honestly, you can just build her, bulk her up. She's got 100% water resist, which is all we really care about. She's got Frosty's card here in her Brave Shift form. You'll notice she's got Besaid Blue Bandana, a couple of Rundarines. That is for the water resist. So 20% there, 30% there, 30% there. That's because we need the materia slots for killers because she has no innate demon killer. So we had to make sure that I probably should have given her Diablo's Esper for the demon killer, but I didn't really think about it. So yeah, we've got two. We've got Crucifying Coercion, Force Mysterion for 200% total demon killer, Ace of Aces, which fills out her water resists and does double hand, and then Dark Knight's Knowledge, which does double hand and demon killer. So she is maxed out on human, but only 250 demon. But as you can see, it didn't really matter. The big carry comes from fundamental force on this one. All right. I would say if you have an EX3 Fundamental Force and have an EX3 Fundamental Force friend, then an EX2 Celeste should be fine, I think. But don't quote me on that. I mean, it takes a lot to get this done in 15 turns. With that said, if you would like to try this fight and you want to use my turn chart, and you would like to use my fundamental force, she is set up for this fight specifically in my Nemesis 1 tab. Just drop your ID number in the comments below. I'd be happy to add you, and feel free to use my fundamental force for this trial or for anything. She's pretty maxed out, balls to the wall for just about anything. She's not a premium unit, so she's not maxed out on all killers, but she's got a good spread of killers for a lot of fights. And being EX3, she can handle just about anything, even if she's not maxed out on the killers. Now, as for the rest of the EXT series boss battles, I was planning on working on this one all day. Like, I thought it was going to take a long time to get this one finally worked out. I don't have any plans to work on the other series boss battles today, but I will sort of slowly approach those over the week, and we'll see how many we get done. But I'm enjoying the fact that these series boss battles are a bit challenging. It feels a lot like, you know, it feels a lot like the old days where you know, people weren't just doing all missions clears on day one. It reminds me of trials like, you know, Marlboro and Igayon, where, you know, doing a day one clear was basically impossible. And so I kind of like that aspect. I think these series boss battles are set up essentially for the future meta, which is going to be units like Cloud, who have like stupid high, you know, LB modifiers, the overdrive mechanic that's coming. So I think that will eventually, power creep will make all of these much easier. So don't fret if you're not able to do these series boss battles, even if you're not able to do them in 30 turns. Honestly, the rewards aren't that great. This is like, I mean, these are things to keep in mind and to, you know, to look forward to the future. You know, play around with them, have a play with them, see how you do. Watch yourself grow as the months go on, and you know, watch the meta power creep these into oblivion probably by the end of the year, right? But anyways, I hope this was exciting. Like I said, I don't know if I'll post the full clear just because it's like super long, but I might if there's enough interest in the comments below. I will post a full clear of this, and like I said, turn charts in the comments below, so if you guys want to try it out yourself, give it a go. All right, but anyways, thank you guys for following me, and I will see you on the other side.